Hey, you know Ironside computers? Yeah, they're pretty cool, right? Well, guess what? They're giving away a PC. Link in the description, guys. That's right, Ironside are our true communist brothers ready to bring upon the revolution by giving away a PC. Now, you know, 20k likes and I'll do Jingle Jam dressed up as Stalin. You know, after last episode's game on City Skylines, where things were very formulated, things were, you know, looking pretty cool, everything was nice and gritty, I've decided we need to switch it up a bit. You know, just switch it up by moving everything slightly to the left. Now, I know what you're thinking. This looks a lot like grids, iSorrow, and we've had enough of grids from the last episode where things just looked a bit too nice. But don't worry, guys, this is a communist grid. Notice how all of the rectangles are equally proportioned. Communism has been achieved. All right, we got our first suckers moving. We got our first willing participants in the communist experiment moving into the city, and boy, they're in for a treat. No treats, actually. There's none of that. Oh, wait a second, iSorrow. If this is true equality achieved in the world, then why exactly do the people closer to the hospital, which are all conveniently placed in the center of our equal rectangles, get priority access to it? Well, you see, that's where the dictatorship part comes into the communist thing. And as the crazy dictator of this land, I'm going to put down a metro, but the metro only goes from the start of the rectangles over here to the end of the rectangles. It's a really bad metro. I put down this kids park, which I don't think that slide's gonna work out, because you seem to come out into the middle of traffic. Yeah, little do you know, this is actually how Stalin got rid of people in the Great Purge. He just tricked them to get on the slide. Yeah, that's a crazy dictator. I'm going to be smart in my choices today by making a giant road that goes all the way to Switzerland, which is where we're going to go ahead and put all the dead people, because if you're going to go anywhere to die, might as well be Switzerland, right? I was taking a trip down south to our friendly neighbor, the People's Republic of China, and accidentally cut through that whole Great Wall thing. But you know, that's just a monument to the capitalistic oppression of the China 2,000 years ago in the year 221 BC. A lot of capitalism back then. Now, you might think having all of this industry right next to our living area is probably not the best idea, but let's be honest, I'm completely crazy, I'm a dictator, and I'm gonna go ahead and double down and just say, heck, I'm gonna ban pets too while I'm at it. No dogs allowed! Goats are allowed, though. Goats are welcome. Also passed the educational blimps policy, which means we now have blimps going around telling people what to think. I'm not entirely sure if this is trying to tell me that books are good or books are bad, but sure. Don't read books, read me. And the blimps actually double taking people down to Switzerland to go to the graveyard. And bear in mind, I do say people, not dead people, because a lot of them don't arrive dead. Yeah, I won't lie, this came completely out of left field. Or should I say right field? Wait, the far right! Just gonna go ahead and say politely, though, that I've only got 6,000 people and I haven't really built that much, so honestly, it's an acceptable loss. Is it a bit too late to build flood protections? I think it might just be a bit too late, isn't it? Look at that. Tsunami warning still there, and my population's actually grown mid-tsunami. I know, it's a great Christmas miracle in March. Now, I know the agricultural side of the Soviet Union was horrendously bad, and there's all the meme about communists don't have food, but don't worry, guys, everyone's gonna have food today. Just not the majority of people, but someone might have some. No one's gonna have food. Although, you know, in good, like, Slavic style, I am gonna go ahead and do some, you know, historic Slavic farming of potatoes, the food of the revolution. You know, the fact that I've got this big nuclear power plant and I accidentally put down an office space right next to it of like 3 wide, it's Myrtle Bio. What exactly does that mean? Are you putting your little fingers into the nuclear waste drawer? Because that's not healthy. That's a lot of dead people over the city, but we don't have to worry about that because our friendly neighbor in the PRC has converted to state capitalism, where we actually do a form of capitalism that's not really communism, where we actually sell stuff for a capitalistic gain, but in the benefit of the people and me, the dictator. You'll see some of the profit though, don't worry. Not only does the children's park now have like a gate around it, someone also has died there. You probably should have looked where you were coming out of that slide. That's all I'm saying. Okay, gonna put some wind farms down over here in Finland, but as you can see, they're all pointing towards the Soviet Union to blow them out. Don't worry, it's not an invasion. Now that the Gulag rectangle's working pretty damn well, we've got our state capitalism over there in China. We should be all good now. We can actually set up some nice parts of our city where everything's perfect and there's no industrial smog that's gonna kill you in the morning. At least not much. That's why I've set up Moscow Time, which is a great place for everyone to come on down and enjoy the benefits of state capitalism, where we've built trams and there's houses and hospitals and botanical gardens. It's a fun time. Just if you misbehave, you will get sent east and you'll work in a factory and probably die. Huh. Skate park. Yeah. That sounds pretty communist. Yeah, dude, nothing like shredding the gnar in the name of the revolution, am I right? Here you go, I'll even whack down a statue of Lenin right next to it, because I'm pretty sure Lenin would definitely approve of skate parks. He's definitely a rad dude. Yeah, I have noticed, though, over here in Gulagville, that we've got a lot of empty plots, that people seem to be moving away from the industrial smog that's poisoning their lungs and into the nice part of our city, which is over in Moscow Time, which, I don't think I agree with that. Yeah, as you can see, the leisure's way better over in Moscow Time. So what we're going to do, we're going to whack down a space station and be the first nation into space with our American shuttle. But that's fine. It's Russian in this scenario, and it's really great. So I'm building a house in the middle of my shuttle. Did you really just build a house in the middle of the space station? Who do you think you are? Ooh, got a 9.8 earthquake on the way there. That's not going to be too pretty if it hits. Although, I'm not against a good purge. Well, fine. It's just over Australia. Nothing of value has been lost here. The mod says this is statues of Lenin, but honestly, could literally be anyone. It doesn't look too good. Yeah, I actually forgot this whole time to put down prisons, and I've got the perfect place for them. That's right, it's Siberia. Although it doesn't look very Siberian. It actually looks quite nice, warm, and pleasant. Not what I wanted. Biofuel bus depot. I'll stick to good old fuel that burns through the atmosphere, thank you very much. So I also got a mod called Communism Square, which puts down at Communist Square, but for starters it's a rectangle. Second off, that's a French flag. Not quite as communist as I would have liked. Oh jeez, I know I've been throwing people who dissent against me and those capitalistic scum in the prison, but you don't have to call them garbage. No, just call them human waste like the rest of us over here in the top level. Now, anyone that says communism isn't magic needs to take a look at this monorail, which isn't supported by anything. It's simply floating. Oh, the future's here. Right. Time for a good old purge. I didn't realize you can also pass a workers' union where we really are uniting the proletariat, but I'm at the top. Just remember that. Right, so this uppity little biatch has started complaining that there's too much noise around their apartment, which is funny because your apartment's free, you don't have to worry about any medical, and just because there's a monorail that goes past your house at certain times does not mean you have the right to complain. Who do you think you are? Good thing though, I'm the dictator and I can put windmills wherever I want, and I felt like we needed one right next to your house. I just gotta borrow Australia for a second. I've got a lot of water that's been wasted. There you go. Now all our spare water will be placed in Australia, and you know what, sure that this might have caused a flood, which you can probably see in the background, but don't worry about that, guys. That's the annual purge. So after that flood happened, I went AFK for a little bit, and a lot of the city burnt down. I don't know how, don't know why. It's still technically on fire, but that's just kind of life, really. You just gotta move on and deal with it. Also, a lot of people have collectively died all around these Lenin statues. I don't know if people are just sacrificing themselves to Lenin, but you know, actually, that's pretty cool. I think that's what people are doing. Right, yeah, I think I found the issue. People are sinking into the concrete because it is Soviet-made concrete. It's not very good. It doesn't dry for years, and I think they might be drowning every time they come to see Lenin. But you know, other than like the random burnings, the random drownings and tsunamis and all the occasional purges, our city is actually looking pretty damn good. It's functioning quite well for once. Don't mind that. meant to be on fire. That's how I like it. It's supposed to be like that. Right, I'm pretty sure someone's setting my factories on fire, and I've got a strong suspicion it's the Americans. Yeah, it's definitely the Americans. Look, they've put sleeper tree agents everywhere that have just sprouted out of the ground and made a massive fire hazard where my whole city looks like it's going to burn down. Those damn capitalists. Nothing like a good old purge. I mean, boy, someone send the fire brigade out to sort this mess out. I got a great idea. There's no fire brigade anymore, so we're just gonna have to put the fire out ourselves. And I know a great place where I've been storing a lot of water. There you go. Not only do we get rid of the American sleeper agents that have infiltrated our city, we get rid of the fires, we get rid of the dissidents, we get rid of everyone but me, really. Hold on. Who's gonna do everything I want now? I actually just literally killed every single person in my city. They're all dead. Well, at least a good thing about communism is that the dream never dies. They're coming back. Leave a like!